Om Shanti, English Avyakt versions, 26th of January 1971. Headline: Benefits of Taking on a Responsibility. You children are those who transform the world. You are the support of the world. We are those who uplift the world as well as being those who are an example in front of the world. Those who are images of support have total responsibility. You now have responsibility to make many others follow your every step. First of all, you had the Sakar form in front of you. Follow Father. Now you are the instrument images. So always think that in whatever way you take a step, all other souls will follow you in the same way. You have this responsibility because you become examples for all souls. The blessings you receive from all of them bring lightness. You also receive help, and due to this, your responsibility become light. Even while carrying out a huge task, you will experience it as though someone is enabling you to do it. This responsibility is one that finishes your tiredness. The mind does not enjoy being free. Responsibility helps a great deal in creating a stage. When Babdada sees you, Maharathi children, he sees the present form of all of you, the final form of this birth as well as the future form of your next birth in front of him. All three appear in front of him. Do you have the clear feeling that you are going to become that? That you will be wearing a crown and be seated on a throne? As you progress further, you will also experience this, just as you experienced it practically from the Sakar form. The Karmatit stage was very clear, and the awareness of the future form was also very clear. The sanskars of the future form were clearly visible in the present form of that time. So, the experience that all of you have will be as though you shared that body and that there is one ready waiting for you. You will have such a clear experience through the power of your intellect's yoga. Now, day by day, through your service, through your being cooperative, and through your power of finishing your sanskars, you will know your final form and your future form. Previously, it was said that a time will come when you will clearly be able to see those who are close and those who are distant. But it is now the time when the souls of the divine family can understand who the close devils are. Those who wish to come close will come close in spite of their circumstances. For those who wish to become distant, even the circumstances will become instruments to help them in that, so that they will not be able to come close even though they may want to. This vision of the future is now taking place in a practical form on the field of service. It is now not difficult to know your future. Each of you individually has to make a special program for yourself. Just as you make a program for service, in the same way, you can make a program as to how much attention you paid to your pilgrimage of remembrance in between from morning till night. You should keep this diary. Make your plan of remembrance at Amrit Vela. For instance, when you remain busy in a physical task, in that too, let there be the discipline of staying in remembrance for a short while. At that time, remind your others for 2 to 3 minutes that it is now the time for you to remember Baba, and so they should also stay in remembrance. Just as traffic is stopped at fixed times, so that no matter how urgent something may be, even if a patient has to be taken to hospital, that will also wait. Similarly, make your timetable like this as much as possible, so that others will see that that is your time, which is fixed for remembrance, and so they would also follow you. No matter what task it is, adjust it slightly and take out a few minutes for remembrance, and it will influence the atmosphere. Everyone will follow one another. The intellect will receive rest and be filled with power. The atmosphere will receive cooperation, and there will be uniqueness visible. Earlier, you used to remind one another, Shri Baba yaad hai? Are you remembering Shri Baba? In the same way, when you see that someone is in physical consciousness a great deal, you should adopt such a peaceful form and not say anything to that person so that he can understand just through a signal. Through this, the atmosphere will remain spiritual. The final stage of you children is that of granting visions. Whatever form you become in a practical way, that is the image of granting visions you will become. When all of you become images that grant visions, your sanskars will also become like that in a practical form. The more you charge yourself, the more you will be able to successfully carry out the task of being in charge. You should take every step while considering yourself to be an instrument because the vision of the souls of the entire world is on you souls. Just as people have a vision through you of godly love, of elevated knowledge, and of elevated divine activities, in the same way, they should have just as clear a vision of the avyakt stage. You should create such a plan that anyone can feel that you are an angel who is walking and moving. Just as you experienced the angelic stage in the sakar form, even while having such a huge responsibility, Baba continued to give you the experience of the subtle and the incorporeal stages. The final form of the stage of all of you should also be clearly visible, no matter how peaceful, restless, or frightened someone may be. The power from a second of your drishti, your attitude, and consciousness should make him completely peaceful. No matter how much someone may be in a physical consciousness, he should experience the avyakt stage as soon as he comes in front of you. Your drishti should work like rays. The result up to the present time is that you are successful in the task of giving the light of knowledge as master sons of knowledge. But you still have to perform the task of destroying the germs of the sanskars of each and every soul with the might of the rays you have passed in giving light. But the task of giving might still remains. Babdada has a list of 4 categories of children: serviceable, sensible, successful, valuable. Not all are successful and not all are valuable. Some become valuable through their virtues and character, but they are not successful in the planning of service. Each of you can know your own chart. You have to check in which list your name would be. Some have their name in all 4, some in 2, some in 3, and some in 1. The main virtue of those who are valuable is that they themselves value their own time, thoughts, and service. The main virtue of those who are valuable is that they themselves value their own time, thoughts, and service. This is why others also give value to the thoughts, words, and service that take place through them, or they are given value according to the drama. Everyone sees them with a vision of their being valuable. Are the serviceable ones first or the sensible ones first? Both have their own specialties. Those who are sensible have a planning intellect to a greater extent, but they lack the specialty of putting it into a practical form, whereas those who are serviceable do little planning, but they have the special virtue of putting everything into a practical form. Some have sense and also the virtue of being serviceable. In the task of this establishment, both are essential. For one, their future is created through their thoughts and plans, and for the other, it is created through their actions. There is a greater impact from the latter. And for those who are images of success, their result is based on their avyakt stage. Some make plans and put them into a practical form, but they do not have as much success. They can be serviceable, but not all can be an image of success. It is as though some have received the blessings of success according to the drama. They have to make little effort. They receive success easily. This is each one's part within the drama. Acha, teachers are teachers anyway. Teachers should always have in their consciousness that they are first student before they become teachers. With the consciousness of being a student, you will be able to remember the study. When you yourself study something, you will be able to enable others to study. If you do not have a student life, you cannot make others into students. In order to change the atmosphere, you should always consider yourself to be a master son. What is the task of the sun? Firstly, to give light, and secondly, to destroy rubbish. So always check whether both of these tasks are being carried out by the rays of your activity. All souls should receive light and the rubbish should also be destroyed. If, for instance, they receive light but the rubbish is not destroyed, you can understand that there is no power in your rays. When the sun is not hot, the germs are not destroyed. If someone has little power, then that one will give the light of knowledge, but the germs of the old sanskars will not be destroyed. The more powerful something is, the quicker it destroys other things. If there is little power, it will take a lot of time. So you have to become powerful. Do not think that you are not educated. You have studied the knowledge of the world, and so everything is included in that. Cha Om Shanti.